Good morning, students. This is Dakne sir, and today we are continuing with our last part of this unit. As already we have discussed the first two section of this unit, that are the first we have discussed was the macro and the macro processor, and second section we have discussed the loaders. And now today we are going to discuss the things about the linker. Now before this, also we have discussed a lot of things related with the linker. Okay. Now today we'll see some more details and the types of the linking also. Now, if I ask you the what exactly is the linker, now from the name itself only, we are understanding that it used to combine some different things together. It used to link the different things together. So in case of computer science and in case of the different system software which are responsible for the execution of program, linker is the one of the important system program or the system software which is being utilized in the process of execution. Okay. Now now if you see, you want to see the position of linker in the execution of program. So this is the actual flow of the execution of program. So when you write the program as a source program, as a source code in some particular language, higher level language, or the any C, C++, Java, etc. So first processing that is conducted is nothing but the pre-processing. Okay. And after pre-processing is done, the particular uh, code in the original format is get generated. So you must be knowing what is the work of the pre-processing. Pre-processing is nothing but the adding some library functions which is required for your program. That is done in the by that is done by the preprocessor. Now in case of the macro, also we have seen in case of the assembly language program where there is utilization of macro. So there also macro preprocessing done, where the expansion of code is happen, where on the place of the name of the macro, the particular actual code is get replaced. So you can utilize the macro in the higher level languages also. That macro you can utilize using the hash, define sign, etc. So if these kind of things are there in our source program, then for that pre-processing is required. Okay. In your source program also you utilize the these kind of things, hash include stdio.h. Okay. For now these stdio.h are the header files which is there to include the particular library code within your program. Which kind of library code? Library code required for the input output functions. stdio.h stands for the standard input output. Okay. So this stdio.h responsible to add the particular library code for the function, that is printf, scanf, that you utilize in your program. So adding that all the things that is being done here in the pre-processing. Okay. So then compilation happens, which convert the your higher level language code into the lower level language. So you consider here the lower level language as assembly code. Again, this assembly code is get converted to the various object code or various object files. Okay. And to link these different object files and libraries, that is the work of the linker. Means what? Suppose if you write the C program, now in your program, as I mentioned, you write the different header files there, hash include stdio.h, likewise, okay, conio.h, etc., etc. Then this is your one part. Okay. Then you write the main function. Okay. Okay, you write the main function. Then inside main function you write some user defined functions. You write some printf functions. Okay, you write some scanf functions. Okay, you use some calling procedure. Okay, then you use some called procedure. Okay, in your program we have the formal parameters. Okay, in our program we have the actual parameters. So actual parameter are the parameter which are present in the where the calling of the program is done. Formal parameter which are present in the that function where the function is defined. In that case, in that defined function, these formal parameters are used, and the call in the call function actual parameter. So these different things used to be the part of our source program. Okay. Now when the assembling is done or compiling is done, various kind of object files are created. Means for this is the library code. Okay, this is library code. For these separate kind of object files get created. Now for the main function, object files are get created. User defined function, like if you define the function sum, this is the user defined function. Now for the user defined function, different object files get created. Then for the library functions like printf, scanf, for these also different object files are get created. Okay, now for the printf and scanf, the code is being added with the help of this hash include h2.h. Now for the printf and scanf, ready-made code is available in the library section. Okay, so that code, for this printf and scanf also the different object files are get created. So you can see these are the different kind of object files are get created, and along with that, as I said, for the library, for the different library function or system defined function, the library code also need to be added, which is present in the library section of that particular language. Okay, so these different object files being created for the different functions of your program, and these different library functions, this different library code for these different library functions, for these different things need to be linked together. Okay, and this linking is done by the linker. Understood? This linking is done by whom? Linker. So combining these different object files for the different function, for main function, user defined function, for printf function, scanf function. So these different object files linking together along with the library code is done by whom? That is done by the linker. So that is the main functionality of linker, linking the different object modules together, which is produced by the translator, that may be your compiler or assembler, along with the library code which is present in the library section. So that linking is done by the linker. Understood? And after that, finally, that code which is generated, that is nothing but the consider as your executable code or the executable file. Okay. And after this linker, there is a one more module that already we have studied, that is the loader. So after generation of executable file, there the work of loader start, which load your executable program into the main memory. So that is nothing but the position of linker. Okay. Now let's see some more details. The whatever I have discussed, that only I have put down here. So any usable program, any program which you write in the higher level language, so that program, as I told you, that program consists of the different kind of functions, subroutines. As I said, it consists of the main function, user defined function, some library functions like printf, scanf, etc., etc. Okay. So here I have mentioned the source program written in the higher level language consists of the different modules like user defined library function, main function, various kind of actual parameters, formal parameters, external variables, public variables. These different things used to be in our program. Okay. So here also I have mentioned this function can be either user defined or they can be a library function. So if you consider the C language, in case of the C language, we have the different functions like library functions, printf, scanf. Likewise, there is others also get ch, etc., etc. Now, what happened when our program get converted into the machine language program? Now, at that time, uh, now to convert that, we utilize the compiler, assembler, etc. So that time, various kind of object files are get created for this kind of function like printf, scanf. Object files get created for the user defined function, for the main function, etc. Okay. Now to link these different object files being created for these functions together, that is the work of the linker. Understood? Now, linker also add the library code required for this kind of functions. Okay, within your original program. Understood? So linking that library code with your original program, with your original converted machine language program, that is also the work which is done by the linker. Okay. So as we know, generally the computer is nothing but computer program is a sequence of steps, okay, instruction, which we are writing so that we can instruct the computer or to the CPU to perform the certain task. Now, as we know, the computer doesn't understand the the particular uh, this program. Understood? Whatever program you write in the higher level language, Even the programmer understand it, computer doesn't understand it. Okay, so we need to convert that particular source code or the source program into the machine code. Understood? And our this particular source program we write, that source program also requires some other programs and the libraries. Okay, the source program which you write, that program also needs some library codes. Okay, that is present in the library section of that particular language. Okay, so in that case, it is required, or it is necessary to collect together or link together this library code and our original program. Okay, and then this program can be executed. So linking is the process of combining these external programs. Now here external programs are what? Suppose you are writing some C program for the addition of two numbers and displaying that. So in that your C program, you have to mention the hash include stdio.h, you have to mention the printf, you have to mention the scanf, you may write to require the one function, user defined function. Now these external programs are nothing but what? These external programs are nothing but the library code which is required for these printf and the scanf functions. So that is here mentioned. Linking is the process of combining external programs. External program in the sense this library code required for this printf scanf with the programmer's program to execute it successfully. So this is your original source program. Okay. Now in that original source program, you utilize some external programs. That it means you utilize some library functions like printf, scanf, etc., and some other functions also. So for these functions, already ready-made code is available in the library section. So this original program has to be combined with the library code of this particular function printf scans, and that linking is done by what? The linker. Understood? So in the classroom also example last time I told you that. Okay. So linking generally get performed with the help of the sorry, two important types like the static linking and the dynamic linking. That difference in the end of this lecture we will see. Okay, so that is the actual linking process where linking of the some external program with our original program is done. And I hope you have got the meaning of the external program is nothing but external programs are nothing but the library code or the uh, library code which we require for the different functions which you utilize like printf, scanf, etc. Etc. Depends on the different language. Each language is having their different library functions and the external program. Okay, so this scenario already we have discussed. Now let's try to make it more clear with the help of the better example. Now you can see here, this is the program we have. Now with the help of this, we try to understand the functionality of linker here also. Now here you can see we have mentioned hash dash. This is header file which add the library code for the printf, library code for the printf and scanf within your program. Here we utilize the printf. Okay. Now here we will discuss the functions of the linker in more details. Now in case of this program, you can see these are the here calling of function is being done, and here is the function defined. So these parameters are called as a formal parameters. These x and y are called as a actual parameters. Okay. Now even if you can see this, here is the one function, and in the within a main function we have called that function. Now as we are discussing, linker is used to link the different object files together. Now when this particular program get converted in the machine language program, object files will be get created for this particular module, object file will be get created for this module. Okay, then separate library code also get need to be make available for this function printf, scanf, etc. So linking of this module with this module and adding of this library code within your this converted machine language program, when we convert this with the help of the translator like compiler, and after that the assembler, we get the different object files. We get the object file for this object for this module, we get the object file for this module, then we have to add the library code within our converted program, and this different object files need to be combined together, and that work is done by our linker. Okay. Now see the what exactly happens, why there is a need of the linker when you are utilizing such kind of functions, parameter, etc. Here you can read, linking process make the address of modules known to each other so that the control can transfer during the execution. Very good. Now we can see this is the one function as a one module, and this is the another module. Okay. Now from here, when the function, this function will get called. Now this particular if func is being called from this main function. Now control has to be transferred to this function, and after finishing the work here, again control has to transfer to the main function. Understood? Now how this will happen? Now in order to make it successful, it is necessary that this object module know the address of this object module, and also this object module should know the address of this object module. So how this knowing of the addresses of this object module will become successful? When the linking process will happen. Okay, so with the help of linking process, you can see addresses of different modules are get known to the each other. Understood? Linking is nothing but what? Making the process where address of this module should be known to the this module, address of this module should be known to the this module, and that is nothing but the referred as a linking, so that control from this module can be transferred to the this module. Understood? And again from this module control can be transferred to the this module. Understood? So this is the functions, function, one important function I have mentioned. Linking process make the address of modules known to each other so that the control can transfer during the execution. Okay. Next important is what? Passing of parameter is handled by the linker. Now here you can see when calling of function is happening here, this parameter has to be passed. Some values are being mentioned here for this parameter. Now this parameter has to be passed in this function. Now in this function, this parameter value will be received by this formal parameter. Okay. Now in order to do the passing of these parameters, also linker is responsible. So for the purpose of passing of the parameter also, we need the linker. So that is another important functionality of the linker. Okay. Then one more here I have mentioned. External variables can be defined in one module and can be used in the another module. So if you define the particular variable in one module, and if you want to utilize that variable in the another module, then the two modules need to be linked with each other, and that linking is done by what? Linker. Understood? And that is called as what? Resolving the address of external reference. Now for this function, resolving the address of external reference, we'll see the good example in the next part. So in short, you should understand these different functions, different functions of the linker, and what is the importance of the linker in the process of execution of program. Okay. Now let's see the example of this last function, resolving the address of external reference. In the class also I have taken this example. Now if you see, this is our main function. In the name of our this particular module, this is the one module and this is the another module. Okay, within a program. Now we can see this is the example of assembly language program. Now here you can see we have utilized the two keywords extrn and entry. Now extrn, this keyword indicate that this f1 variable is not defined in this function, but it is defined in some other functions. This f1 is not defined in this module, but it is defined in some other module, but it is being utilized in this main module. You are getting my point. Now where actually it is defined? It is defined in some other module, like it is defined in the f1 subroutine or the module. Understood? So here it is being defined with the entry f1. Entry meaning of the entry is what? This is the publicly defined variable or local variable, and it means it can be referred by the other modules. And if it is referring the other modules, it has to be declared with the extrn. Extrn stands for the externally referenced variable. This f1 is not declared in this function, but it's declared in this f1. Now in this main function, main program, alpha variable is declared. Now this is a public variable in case of main program because it is defined with the entry. Okay. But in the other module, this alpha is being utilized. Alpha may be utilized in next part of this module, like alpha ds1, like this. Okay. But if you want to utilize this alpha, which is publicly defined in main program, and if you want to utilize in some other function, then it has to be utilized with the extrn alpha. Here, meaning of the extrn is what? Alpha is the externally reference variable which is not declared in the F1. Okay. So so that is the function here. Last, external variables can be defined in one module and can be used in the another module. Likewise, here in case of this module, external variable is what? F1. In case of this module, external variable is alpha. Okay, where F1 is defined here and alpha is defined here. But you can utilize the variable which is defined in one module, and that variable can be utilized in another module only when the linking of these two different modules can be done. And that linking is done by whom? Linker. So that is called as resolving the addresses of external reference. So these are the different functions of the linker, which you can see directly indicate what? Linker has to perform the process of combining the different modules together with the help of the addresses. Okay. So what is the necessity of that? Already we have discussed. Okay. One of the important related with these functions also, once again, I told you this is the one particular module, this is the another module. In this module, printf function is utilized, etc. Object file, when this program will get converted to the machine language program, object files will get created for this, for this. Now, in order to link these different object files together, as well as in order to add library code of this kind of system defined function, that all the work is done by the linker. Okay. Now let's see uh, uh, that whatever the things we have discussed, that things already I have put here in the words. Like linker is a program, system program in which it helps to link the object modules of the program into the single file. As I said, when the translator convert your source program into the machine language program, it consists of the different object modules. Okay, it consists of the different object files. So linking these different object files and creating the single object file, that is the work of the linker. So here I have mentioned it perform the process of linking. Linkers are also called as the link editors also. Okay. So it is a process of collecting and maintaining the piece of code and the data into the single file. It is process of combining the different object files and making the single executable file, which is in the next step, loader load that single executable file into the memory. Here also I have mentioned linker also link the particular module into the system libraries. Means if there is a function printf scanf you have utilized, now for this printf scanf function library code is present in the library section. Now to add that code for the printf scanf in your original program where you have utilized these printf scanf functions, that work is done by whom? That work is also done by the linker. Okay. So you take the object modules from assembler or from translator as a input and it create the executable file as a output for the, as a what you can say, as a input for the loader, not the output, input for the loader, where loader take that executable file and load into the memory. Okay. So whatever the object modules being generated after the compilation or after the assembly of the program, linker take it as an input and generate the executable file and then give it to the loader. Okay. So linking can be performed both at the compilation time also when the source code is translated into the machine code, and linking can also be performed during the run time, that is the load time, when the program is loaded into the memory by the loader. So at the two time linking actually get performed, that you have to keep in mind. First is during the compilation time, and second linking can also be performed during the runtime. Okay. So in that case, we can say linking is the last step in the process of compilation. Okay. So if you want to put down these parts with the help of the diagram, okay, with the better example we have shown here. Suppose you have done some C language program. Okay. Now that first thing, that first particular component or the system software which process your source language program is nothing the C preprocessor. So as I said, in your C code, if there are the different header files are there, okay, if there are the macro you have utilized, so C preprocessor add the code related with that header files in your program. If you have utilized the std, if you have utilized the stdio.h, okay. Now stdio.h indicate that within your this C code original source program, the library code for the input output function has to be add. Means library code for the printf and scanf has need to be add there, So that adding is done by whom? The C processor, C preprocessor. Understood? And then your pure C code will get generated. Pure C code in the sense whatever the original C program you have written, source program, plus the library code for these functions. If addition of these two different things happens, okay, then that is being referred as here the pure C code. Okay. Then that particular pure C code is compiled by the C compiler. Okay. And now here we are taking the example of C program. That's why here it is being mentioned. It is being compiled by the C compiler. Then C compiler perform the process of parsing, and then assembly code will get generated. That is the machine code. Here we are assembly code. Here we are considering as a machine code, as a lower level language as compared with the C language. Then this assembly code is again converted into the object code. That is nothing but our original machine code. Okay. Now here you can see. Now assembler convert this particular code which it is being received from the compiler into the various object files. Now here various object files get created. You can see 1, 2, likewise various kind of object files are get created, depends on which things we have utilized in your original source program. In your original source program, if you have utilized the main function, user defined function, different library functions, etc., etc. So for these different things, different object files will get created, and then this is being given to the linker. As I said, whatever the output from the assembler will receive, that is given as a input to the linker. Then linker link together these different code together. As you can see here, what the linker links the different code libraries, library codes, and linker links the different object codes. Okay. Object code is nothing but the machine language program of your original source program. Library code is nothing but the library code for the different system defined functions. Now linking of these things done by the linker, and finally executable program is get generated. Okay, so this is nothing but the whole process of how the linker actually works, and in the execution of program where the part of the linker comes. Now after this executable file, you can see there is another system program utilized, that is the loader, which load this executable program into the main memory. Already function of the loader already we have seen. Okay, so better way you can refer this whole scenario to understand the role of the linker. Okay, now so this is the how the source code get processed journey of that. Here I have shown. You can see source code get compiled, then it again get assembled by the assembler, then object code as a machine code will get generated, then linker link different files together and executable file get created, and then loader load it in the memory. Okay, now here you don't need to confuse here at this point. uh, Compiler now whatever the code which is produced by the compiler, that is acting as a lower language code only, or that is also considered as a machine code only as compared with our C code. Okay, as compared with our higher language code. Again, these lower language code as assembly code get converted into the pure machine code by the assembler. Okay, now again this concept or of linker which we have discussed also I have put down with the help of the other figure. Also you can refer any figure to explain the concept of the linker. Now you can see there are the different source files are there, source programs are there. Then now in between there, if you have our source files are the higher level language, then in between here we need to utilize the compiler also. But if your source program is the assembly language program, then compiler is not needed here. Directly assembler utilized as a translator. Now these different source files, for these different source file, different object files are getting created, as you can see. Linking of these different object files is done by the linker. And here, if different library code is also required, that is being also added by the linker with these library files. So this is nothing but like this object files plus this program libraries that is linked by the linker, and then executable file will get generated. Okay, so this is the exact functionality of the linker. Okay, now this is also another example I have put down here. uh, as you can see here, I have mentioned linker can be also called as a link editor, or it can be also called as a binder also. So linker is a program that combines the different object modules or the object files to form a single executable program. So as you know, as different programming languages allow you to write the different kind of code modules separately in your program. Now, even if you can see the Java program, you can write the different classes in the Java program separately. Now, in order to combine these different classes together, the main role which is being played by is nothing but the linker. As it is being mentioned here, different programming language allow you to write the different pieces of code like modules separately. So in the Java is the perfect example where you write the different classes separately. And now who is combine these different classes which is written separately? That is done by whom? That is done by the linker. Okay. So same example with the different way we have put down here. If there are the different source files are there, then this source file will be converted into the object files by translator. Here translator is not shown. So your translator depends on which kind of language you are utilizing, higher level language you are utilizing. If you are utilizing the Java as a higher level language, then you need the translator as a compiler plus interpreter. If you utilize C, then you only need the C compiler. C++ only the C++ compiler you will require. Understood? If you are not utilizing the higher level language like C, C++, Java, etc., if you're utilizing the assembly language, then you need the assembler there. Now, all this translator work is nothing but here in between translator. Now, this translator will generate the different object files of your source program. Linking of these object files with the runtime libraries or the library code is done by the linker, and there you will get the executable program. So with the help of the three different diagrams, we have discussed the concept of linker. Here also you can see the another part I have mentioned. So this linking simplify the programming task because you can break large program into the various kind of small separate modules, and linker gives you the functionality to link these different modules together. Okay. So when you write the particular source program into the separate modules, these separate modules need to be linked together, and that is exactly is the job of the linker, that put combinedly or put all the modules together. That work is done by the linker. So in addition to combining the modules, linker also replaces the symbolic addresses with the real addresses. Okay, and therefore you may need to link the program even if contain the one module also. So mainly the linking is nothing but the combining the different object modules together. Okay. Now related with the linker, another important question being asked in the exam, that is what is the object modules? As we are discussing that in the figure also I shown you in the process of execution. Here the different object files or the object modules are get created. Now what exactly these object modules? That is the part also being asked in the exam number of times. That is here I have mentioned what exactly is the object modules. So assembler or the translator produces these object modules. Okay. And what exactly these object modules? This object module is contain the sequence of records that is called as a sequence of object records. Now this sequence of object records of what? Sequence of object records of your source program. Okay, because when the object module get created, when it is converted into the machine language program by the translator. Here our translator you are considering as an assembler. So when this object module get generated, it consists of the different kind of records. This different kind of record is nothing but what? This is nothing but the information regarding your source program. Now, what kind of information regarding the source program? So here I have mentioned the object record contain the all the information which is required to do the relocation and linking of the different object models together. Now, as I say, as we have discussed, the translator can be a assembler or the compiler, and it generate the multiple number of object files. Okay, it generate the multiple number of object files. So, and it also generated the various addresses also. Okay, when these object files get created. Now, if these object files and some of the instruction within that object files need to relocate in the sense already we have discussed, if the instruction, some of the address of instruction need to be changed, then that is called as a relocation. So all the information related with the relocation means which address to be utilized to be changed for the particular instruction. If some instruction is being present with the address 101, but if that instruction cannot be executed from 101, then which address to be allocated for this instruction, and if that address is 105, then changing the address of this 101 to the 105 of particular instruction, that is called as a relocation. Understood? Then, as we are discussing what this object record contains, this object record contains the different kind of information required for the relocation and information which is required for the purpose of linking the different object modules. Okay. Now, what information we require for the linking the different object modules? So there are the four main components there. Okay. So these are the four main components with the help of which the relocation and linking of object modules get done. Now, as up till now we have discussed, the linking is done by the linker, etc. Also, it does the relocation, etc. But for that, there is a need of some particular specific information, and that specific information is contained within the object record. Now, what this object record is and what are the components of that? These are the four main components of it. First is the header, second is the binary image, third is the relocation table, and fourth is linking table. Okay. Now, what exactly the header contains? The header contains what is the size of that object modules. Whatever the object modules or object files generated, what is exactly its length, its size, that is nothing but the header content. First component of the header content. Okay. Second component in the header is what? Name of the object modules. You know, multiple object modules get created. What is the name of each particular object modules? Okay. Now, related with the name of the object modules, we have seen there are the various kind of object module like the external ESD is there. Then TXT object module is there. Okay. Likewise, in the when we have discussed the concept of loader, in that we have seen the different types of the object modules. So name of the object modules, then what is its address? That is the translated origin. When the source program get translated into object program or machine language program, what was its address? That is the translated origin address. Okay. During the translation, what address was assigned to that object module? That is the translated origin address. Then execution start address of the object module means what? From which address the execution of that module should start. That is the execution start address of that particular object module. So here, translated origin address means what? The particular address which is being assigned to the object module when its conversion translation is done. And execution start address of the object module is the address of the object module which indicates from which particular address the execution should start by the CPU. So your header consists of these different things: size, name, translated origin address, execution start address, etc. Binary image in the sense actual machine code of your source program, relocatable table, and the linking table. Let's discuss the what exactly the relocating table contain and the particular linking table content. So the binary image, that is the second component of our object record. It contains the machine language program of our modules. Okay. Relocatable table contains what? The information which is required for the relocation. Now, what information required for the relocation? That already we have discussed. For the relocation, we require for which instruction relocation has to be performed. Like here I have mentioned the operand in such instruction are address sensitive. कुठल्या instruction साठी relocation perform करायची आहे? which address to be utilized for the relocation. This all the information is contained within a relocation table, okay, which is the component of our object record. Then linking table. Now for which different object modules need to be linked, then it contains the information about the external reference and the publicly defined variables, which variables are externally referenced, okay, which variables are the publicly declared, which object modules to be linked with each other, related with which library functions code need to be add within a original program, which library code to be add within a original program. So this all the information is contained within a linking table. Specifically, which variables are externally referenced, that information is must in the linking table, so that the linking of this external reference variable with the object module where these variables are being utilized and where these variables are being declared, for that purpose linking is required. Means what? Suppose the previous example also we have discussed, as there is a program. In that program, two modules are there, and if the variable is defined in this module and this variable utilized in this module, then linking table contain the information like this. What information is the variable which is externally referenced? Understood? Now along with this, here address need to be give की इथं जर डिफाइन केला हा व्हेरिएबल ई आणि युटिलाइज कुठे केला ह्या मॉड्यूल मध्ये, मग इथं याचा ऍड्रेस काय असेल, सपोज 101. देन इथं जर तुम्ही ई व्हेरिएबल यूज केला असेल इन द अनदर मॉड्यूल ऑफ दिस मेन प्रोग्राम, तर ह्या मॉड्यूल मध्ये हा जो ऍड्रेस 101 that also need to be mentioned, so that linking of this model with these modules will be get done. So this kind of different kind of information is contained by the linker for the purpose of linking. Okay, for that purpose special data structure is utilized, that is called as a linking table, and it contains the information regarding the different external reference variable as well as the different publicly defined variables. So as previously we have discussed, the linking can be done at the different times. In that first way of doing the linking can be at the compilation time, and second time it can be done at the loading time. Based on that, the dividation or comparison between the this kind of linker is done. So on the basis of that, the two categories are there. First category is the static linking, and second category is the dynamic linking here. Okay. So as we have discussed, there are the two periods at which the linking can be done. So if the linking is done at the time of compilation, okay, then that simply comes under the category of static linking. And if linking is being done at the what you can say runtime, at the load time, then that is being referred as a dynamic linking. So simple that point I have put down here. Static linking is the process of copying all the library modules used in the program into the finally executable file. So this is performed by the linker, and that is being done during the compilation time. That is the reason this kind of linking is called as what the static linking. Okay. Now in case of the dynamic linking, the names of the libraries or the shared libraries are placed into the executable file, and so actual linking that take place is during the runtime. Okay, and that is the reason this is come under the category of dynamic linking. If the linking is being done at the runtime, then that is called as a dynamic linking, and if the linking is done at the compilation time, then that is called as a static linking. Here linking is happening means what? Here you can see the library codes being added into the okay, library codes is added into your executable file. Means the combining of your object modules with required library codes, that is nothing but the linker, that is nothing but the function of the linker, and from that finally executable file is get created. Okay, so whatever things we have discussed, all same thing here, but when this linking is happening, if whether this linking is happening at the compilation time or whether this linking is happening at the runtime, based on that the comparison is done here, static linking and the dynamic linking. So simply you have to keep in mind the static linking is what? Linking which is happens at the compilation time, and dynamic linking is what? Linking which is happens during the runtime. Now, what is happening here? Static linking is nothing but the process of adding or combining or copying all the library code in your original program, okay, or with your object files, and then creating the particular executable file. Dynamic linking is nothing but what? Here, instead of adding the what you can say, the library code as it is, in case of the dynamic linking, we just utilize the name of that library files. Okay, what we are adding? We are just adding the name of that library files or address of that library files in our finally executable file. So that is the main difference between the static linking and the dynamic linking here. In case of the static linking, the particular library code itself has to be added into the this executable file. But in case of the dynamic linking, instead of adding the library code itself, we add the name of that library, uh, we add the name of that library file, or we add the address of that library file within an executable file when the actual link is take place during the runtime. Okay. So as you can see, another difference, static link is performed by the particular system program that is called as a linker. When it is being done, that is being done during the compilation of the program. Dynamic linking actually done at the runtime. And who is doing the dynamic linking? The operating system itself is doing the dynamic linking. Okay. So here you can see third difference. Statically linked files are the significantly larger in the size because external programs or the library code is added separately for each particular library functions. What is exactly mean by this? Means in your particular source program, here you are having what you can say, hundreds of printf function you are utilizing, hundreds of printf function you are utilizing. Then for this hundred of print functions, separate library code has to be added. Okay, separate library code has to be added. Okay, for each of these 100 library functions, suppose if you utilize the 100 printf function within your source program. Now, if you add these 100 library functions or the library code for these particular functions, printf, scanf, then you can see the size of this executable file, size of the finally generated file or size of the linked file will be very large. Understood? Because in case of the static linking, if you have the one printf function, one library code will be added for that. If you have the two printf function, two library code will be added for that. If you have the 100 printf function, then you need to add the library code 100 times. Understood? So because of this, what happened? The size of the statically linked files or size of the finally generated executable file, which is formed after the linking, is become very large. Understood? That is the disadvantage of static linking. But in case of the dynamic linking, here we only share the here you can see in the dynamic linking only one copy of the share library code is kept in the memory. Means for the printf only one. Now for the printf, whatever the library code is required, okay, whatever the library code is required, we don't add the library code itself into the executable file, but we add only the addresses. What we add? We only add the addresses of this library code in our executable file. Okay, in case of the statically linked file, what we add? We need to add the library code itself. Where? In the executable file. Executable file means the file which is generated after the linking the different files together. Okay, but in case of the dynamic linking, we are not adding the library code itself. We are adding what? We are adding the addresses of that particular library code. What we are adding? Addresses of that library code. Okay, within an executable file. So because of that, what size of the dynamically linked file or size of the file which is being generated after the linking, after the dynamical linking, the size will be the less as compared with the statically linked files. So here इथं जी executable file तयार होते after doing the static linking, final executable file, बरोबर? तर ह्या फाईलची size always used to be the very large. Reason behind is what? Reason behind it is what? Here we are adding the library code itself. Here we are not adding the library code itself, but here we are adding the addresses of that library code, and that is the reason here size of the files, size of the executable file which will be generated after the linking will be the less. So that is the main advantage here. Okay. So that is the reason always the dynamic linking is prefer number of times over the statically linking. Okay, so each one is having their advantages as well as the disadvantages. Okay. So another here I have mentioned in static linking, if any of the external program or library code, here you have to take the meaning of external program as a library code. In static linking, if any of the external program has to change, then they have to be recompiled and relink again and again. Without that, the changes will not be reflected in the executable file. Now, what is actually mean by this? Now, in case of different programming language, they are having their different external programs. External program means they are having their different library codes. Now, there is always used to be updation in the library functions. There always used to be the modification into the library code. Okay. Now, in case of the static linking, this library updation in the library code doesn't get add into the executable program automatically. So for that purpose, recompiling and relinking need to be done again and again. Okay. But in case of the dynamic linking, this is not the case. Automatic updation of the library code or external program is happening. Okay. Suppose in case of the C language, we have the library functions printf scanf. So for this library functions printf scanf, the library code is present in the system library. Okay. Now, if there is some updation related with the library code of this printf scanf, now in case of the static linking, this updation in the library code of this kind of library function printf scanf doesn't happen automatically. But in case of the dynamic linking, this automation, this automatic updation is happening. That is the reason this is more advantageous as compared with the static linking. Okay. So these are the different kind of differences are there in the exam. Number of time differences is asked, the static linking versus the dynamic linking. So four major differences we have discussed here. First is what? If the linking is performed at the compilation, that is referred as static. If it is performed at the runtime, that is as a dynamic. Okay. Now, who is doing the static linking? Linker. Who is doing the dynamic linker? Operating system. In case of the static linking, the size of the generated link file can be a large. Reason behind that already I told you. Library code itself has to be added number of times. Because of that, the size of the link file get large. In case of the dynamic linking, size of the executable file generated, size of the finally link file generated is less, because instead of adding the library code itself for the different library function, we are adding what? We are adding the addresses of that library code or the library. We are adding the addresses of that library code for the different library functions within an executable file. And last one is nothing but related with the updation of library codes, where in case of the static linking, the recompiling and relinking has to be done, because automatic updation of the library function library code is not happening here. Automatic updation of library code for the different library function is not happening here. In case of dynamic linking, automatic updation of different library code for the different library function is done, and that is the reason here recompiling and the relinking is not required. So that's it from the comparison here. Okay. So same kind of comparison in the short I have put down here. The main difference between the static and dynamic linking is what? Static linking copies or add all the library modules or library code using the program into the finally executable file at the final step of compilation, while dynamic linking occurs at the runtime. So same difference I have put down here in the other words. Okay. So that is all about the linker here. The possible question which is always asked on this topic is nothing but the comparison between the static linking, dynamic linking. Then what is the object module and different components of the object module, and separate question or general question can be asked, explain the concept of the linker with the help of the suitable diagram. Okay. So I hope all of you have got this point. If any doubt, then you can mention me in the comment section. I will always answer your question. Okay. Thank you all of you.